have a white T-shirt covered over a box to give it a little more sturdiness. And I'm going to come down to the $1,000,000 question: do we need to prime? First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. The company is ILE Technology Screens, Diffusion Light Energy Gain Technology Screens. And this coating we have here, our new black paint, is called our ILEG Ultimate Black Cinematic. So, usually when it comes down to these materials, we usually advise people to prime the surface first because you don't want to lose so much of your paint absorbing in. So let's see how well this paints over. Just to give us an idea of whether or not we're going to advise you to prime first and paint afterwards. So we're going to paint half of this. So I want to do one side where I do prime it, or any paint doesn't make a difference, and one side we don't. So we're going to paint this side right here. Alright, so got our paint here. Shake it up. That's all we got to do. Let's see what happens. See how fast we paint this over, or do we have to prime the surface? I don't think we're going to have to prime the surface on this. Honestly. It's bleeding through quite nicely. You know what's on the roller? Get my corners with it. I think that bleed-through process is a bit of a beast. Get my corner. Oops, see? Well, that's the floor. We're going to do that anyway. Well, once we get the new one in, got to paint over the floor. And it shows how well it coats over. Can you see this on camera? Yeah, you're picking up on camera. Okay. Does coat quite nicely. A little bit more here. But I would say it bleeds through great. It does. Even with a roller, and we're using a roller, it bleeds through perfectly. But I would advise, on my end, I would advise spraying it in. Definitely spraying it in. You would definitely get the bleed through much faster if you spray it in. The roller, we didn't have to prime this at all. Period. Usually, we advise you to prime these surfaces first. So the paint doesn't basically, because we think the paint's going to absorb so much, but no, that went through fast. So if I was doing it, quite frankly, I would spray it in, especially on canvas. You wouldn't have to prime nothing whatsoever. Don't even have to. That's one of my old T-shirts. Gee whiz, that went in pretty fast. That went in really fast. But usually we have to go through that whole priming process. Man, that's going to make my job a ton easier. Because I got to put 4 of these screens up in Allentown. That's going to make my job so much easier. I got my buddy's shop. He said I can bring the screens on there, hook up the paint spray, knock that thing out in no time at all, be done. And mind you, through all this, we still got a lot of paint. We got a lot of paint left over. A lot of paint left over. I still got more to play around with. So let's set that up and see how that works. Now while we're at it, grab these two pieces of metal. I'm going to paint over some metal too. No, I'm going to keep that separately. Because I want to do that separately. I'm going to paint over metal will be next. That'll be the next demonstration. Because I'm going to keep this one separately. Alright, let's get this set up. Let me see. I'm just going to grab this cardboard we have over here. Box we have here. So anyway, this is one of my T-shirts. Man, we're gonna have a ball with this stuff, man. Cut it where we want. We're having a field day over here. I'm telling you, I'm having so much fun with this. I was over in City Hall today. They're like, what are you smiling about? I was like, dude, I'm so happy. We got this new screen paint, man. We can roll over anything we want. The results are insane on this stuff. So I showed them some of the videos. And I tell you, this stuff is going to sell really quick. All right, so we also got the good news on the 20 ounce. That's going to paint 110 inch screen, but I say roughly 100 inch. I say it's 110. This stuff is really goes on really nicely. So price tag we're going to have with that. Let me write all that down. Make sure I wrote it down. Hold on for a minute. I'm not sure of anything. Price tag we have for the 20, it's going to be $247. It's going to come with an 8x10 blackout cloth surface and free brackets. So, voila! Yep. It's going to be awesome. Look at that. That's insane, ain't it? That's crazy, man. It's just boom! Usually I got to prime all this stuff, man. Let me see. What the heck are we playing in this video? Let's follow that. I don't know what's wrong with that. Alright, it's a perfect play videos. Let's get a fan on this. Okay, that's behind the desk. Well, I like to be at. Top of this little stuff, move that away real quick. Alright. Where you at? Which one are we at? Prime is a definite no. We don't have to. As I said before, product is always dark. As it starts to dry, it'll lighten up. Very happy about that, man. Just went whoop, right through. I'm gonna be doing some metal next. But if I'm doing a bigger screen, I definitely would spray it in. It'd just be much easier to do it. Nope, I'm doing some air in here too much. that. And it's off my floor. My mat. I don't want Taco stepping it, tracking it anywhere. So that right there, T-shirt. T-shirt, one coat application, and you're done. Next after this, I'm doing 2 sheets of metal. So then now we have all these demonstrations already done, showing fabric, showing T-shirts. Behind nutrients is plexiglass. That's 2 sheets of plexiglass and some cardboard boxes that are coated. We need all this because sometimes just saying it can, not enough. People have to actually see it.
YouTube ads makes it easy to expand your
YouTube ads, yeah, that's why we're doing these 45,000 commercials running up. It's annoying. Yeah, we're gonna do today. The shopping cart's not gonna be open. We're gonna load it on there, and that is going to be 2 quarts. No, 1 quart. Sorry, 1 quart. 1 quart. Take it from it. Yeah, it's still wet. That's why it's a little darker, because it's still wet. It's going to do quite well on and off YouTube. It's going to do quite well. Especially with the fast paint down application that we can just convert anything we want into a screen. I just went to Family Dollar. I made sales in Family Dollar. I went to go pick up some candy. And one of the guys asked me what did I do for a living. I said, what do I showed him? I showed him the new product we have too. And he said, really? He says he has a projector. He does have, it's a name brand too. He does have, he wants to get a bigger TV because the projector problem he's having, he can't use it because the screen's washing out. And that's the problem he's having with it. So they just use the TV. So every time they use the projector, that's the lights go to. At nighttime they do a lights out movie setup, but they're not really happy with it. So they're going to just basically just go get a TV. And then I show my technology operating in this fully lit environment, and they want to do a whole setup. So this is going to be fantastic. Because, you know, like I said, that's what people are dealing with. They're dealing with these really dark environments. And if you're trying to sell a product, the last thing you want to do is be in a dark environment trying to sell a product to a customer who's stuck in a dark environment. They don't want that. So this is going to take a bit to dry because, like I said, it's fabric. This would dry 10 times faster than fabric. So I'm going to kind of take my surface off of that. I think I can move it down. Let me see if I can snip it off there so I can get that to dry a little faster. I want to get ready on my next video on the metal. We'll come back to this one. We're going to be showing this off quite a bit.
an unprecedented transcontinental race begins.
That bled through nicely.
Mario Kart World.
Bled through nicely.
With a Cologuard test, you can screen for colon cancer for
So,
$0.
I'm going to leave a little tuck area here. I want this to dry.
Zero votes.
Oh, see this right here. My PC gets here. It comes out of here. So take this. there. Put that right there to dry. Because my PC blows air out all around it. And it'll dry that up nicely. That's going to take a while to dry. I have a box behind the back of that. That's got me thinking now. Wow, I can do my PC screen and PC all at the same time, and that'll be hot. All right, so yeah, it did a great job. So the surface, come over here, you can see yourself. The surface coated over nicely. The whole box is also coated. On top of that, but the surface coated over nicely. I just want to dry it a little bit more, but as you can see, it coated over quite nicely. Just got it for it to dry so it brightens up a little bit more, because the screen gets darker when they're wet, and as they start to dry, they get lighter. So yeah, we painted over a T-shirt. So bed sheets, all that stuff, yeah. Coat right over top of it. Like I said, this is still wet. When it dries out, we'll get a chance to see. I'm going to be doing more demonstrations on my T-shirt box. I'm definitely going to be doing demonstrations on this. Who would not do demonstrations on a projection screen made out of a TV? So you know we're definitely going to be showing this thing off a lot. Look at that. Drying time's kicking in. It's getting there. It's getting brighter, as you can see, nice and bright. Man, I'm telling you. T-shirt. All right, next demonstration. Got two pieces of metal here. Some metal. We're going to be converting these into projection screens next. I'm going to do that in the next video because I want all these to be separate. And all these videos are going to be loaded up and our new showcase for the technology that we're developing. So you can go in and see all the cool stuff we're going to have, because the whatchamacallit won't do it any justice. The regular page set up on won't do it any justice, because we're going to do so many videos in there and so forth. Okay. I'm very happy. Alright, so as I said before, the kit that's 20 ounces is $247. It comes with L brackets and a surface of 8x10. The big surface, the big kit, comes with a 20 by 10 by 20 surface, L brackets, frog tape, and LED lights. We decided to change the LED lights to more. So basically, instead of getting 16 feet, now you got 20 feet. Because I got a real good deal on those. 20 feet of LED lights. And these are the ropes in the day, because I don't like the other ones anymore. I kind of like those. The ropes are fantastic. I got them wrapped all around over there. So that's why I like the ropes. So they're 20 feet now. 20 feet of rope. It's a lot of freaking rope. I think it's as much as we have stretched around here. It's about 20 feet. Okay, well, that's all done. I think the next step is we're done with this video. We did plexiglass, we did cardboard, we did fabric. Going to do metal now because I got metal sitting right down the floor. So that'll be next one. Roll over that, turn that to a projection screen, throw it up there, and boom, show it off. Hope you enjoyed the demonstration. We're definitely going to be showing more on the fabric, so keep in mind when that fully dries and that thing is done, we're going to be showing off a lot of demonstrations on the T-shirt projection screen. And again, why wouldn't I? That's the most cookie. Well, not the cookies. I've done weirder stuff now. I've done styrofoam, which we are doing styrofoam too, by the way. I'm picking up some insulation styrofoam. I'm picking up plywood. Picking just about anything I can get my hands on, I'm getting it. Because this stuff is fantastic. That bleed through just went right through the surface. Man. Freaking loving it. Alright. Hope you enjoyed. I'd like to thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for blessing us with amazing, amazing blessings, amazing technology. One for Him, none of this will be available. I'm going to come back in. We're going to paint over metal. Can we paint over that? I'm looking at something under my desk now. It's caught my eye. Well, I can't use this container technically because Oh, there's my LED lights. Can we turn that into a screen? We'll find out. Man, we get our hands on a paint can, it is go time. They're blasting everything with that stuff, man. We blast whatever we want, cars, whatever we want. Turn it into screens. Side of food trucks, instant projection screen. Side of a building, instant projection screen. But that stuff bleeds through everything. So, we got to get a paint cannon in here. I'm going to call this paint cannon. So I can go outside, get my buddy's shop. We're going to plaster everything with that stuff. If you hear me talk about car, like, can you do a whole car? I'm just talking, I want to watch you move up my car. Or something crazy like a food truck or something. Oh my goodness, forgot about that. That would be interesting. So I found some interesting. I don't know how it is in other states, but I do know that they have a food truck, and if you want to run a screen off the back of it, that it's not the only way it's going to affect. I don't know what your zoning would be like. In zoning in Pennsylvania, it's different, where they never heard of it before. So it's like you can have it, but you can't have it like. Oh, how the freak does that even work? Wait a minute. See, I'm kind of confused because the ad tech every time we can't do it through windows because it would cause car accident. Oh, that's why they got rid of those. Remember those trucks used to have those LED windows in them, the big screens and stuff? They got rid of them. You can't have them. They're banned to have them because they cause accidents. Okay, I see that one right there. All right, but anyway, but if you want to set a movie up, I'm pretty sure you have to have an area where you have a sitting area, and they can't have in there a sidewalk because that blocks the areas from pedestrians going from A to B. But if you have it on a park area, or the back of it, like you have a parking lot and the back of it faces a park, then you can have the screen out there. There's so much stuff, man, I had to read through. It was crazy. I had to know all the different codes and policies and stuff like that. Sorry about that. Codes and policies and stuff like that. But you can have that. So basically, anything outside the truck, as long as it doesn't affect the performance of anything inside the truck, basically you can have it. I read up on all that stuff, so I know my rules and stuff in the day, just in case you get naysayers. Like, you can't do that. I read everything. Like, I'm a research junkie. Like, I literally go to these places, and I get all types of documents on everything. So I want to know my stuff 100%, because you never know. You could bump into somebody from the city that may not be a very nice person. You have to know your rights. See this right here? All this stuff right here. These documents and all that stuff. Yeah. And I know a bunch of people down there. So all the information I need to help me out with. All that correction code, buyer agreement, that have code violation correction, all that stuff. Yeah, I get all those documents. I don't play around at the end of the day. I get my paperwork in. So all my stuff is locked in. And that's what I like to do. Lock it in. All right, so yeah, because someone was asking me about basically doing the back of trucks. Yeah, you could do the back of trucks with this, but no problem. Just paint over it. If I was doing it, a back of a truck, it depends how smooth it is. If it's smooth, then I'm good. But if it's not, I would put a sheet of sheet metal on that one side, so it'd be smooth. So you paint over it, you're good. So you're not going to have any seams in where one piece of steel meets another piece of steel. You have a smooth area back there. I would do it that way. If not, you can just have a projection screen, motorized projection screen attached to it, so we can take off and put back on. Don't want to leave that on out there in the rain. Unless you get something weatherproof, you can do that, but they're kind of expensive. Trying to do this as less as possible, but yeah, possibilities are endless with this technology. All right, so with that being said, hope you enjoyed the video demonstration. Once our T-shirt projection screen fully dries, we'll do some more demonstrations on it. We'll show you that it does actually work and it does run. So all that good stuff of yippee-ki-yay! Yippee-ki-yay! I was dying to do that when I came. I was like, we got to do the T-shirt. All right, cool. That's done. So now we're going to be back in sheet metal. Let's knock sheet metal out. Gotta go. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for your time, and God bless.